Chairman. I appreciate your convening this hearing. I appreciate the seriousness with which the committee has taken this very important topic. It's very important in my district. I guess I'm the only one here that has not one but two constituents on the panel, and I'm very proud of that. Y'all did a great job. Mr. Oliver, you were very gracious to spend some time with me right soon after you were appointed and took your position, and I expressed to you at that time the concerns that I had about the data that was being developed by your office, and you were too new on the job to be able to respond to that. I didn't expect you would. You've heard from Mr. Blankenship and from others about the really good data we're getting on the actual catch in the Gulf of Mexico, and we do have good, reliable data there. The other half of that is what's the health of the stock. And the conversation you and I had was my concern that you're not sampling on reefs where these fish live. I would like to extend an invitation to you to come down to my district, the University of South Alabama Marine Sciences program that's led by a long-term expert in this field named Dr. Bob Shipp. They'd love to take you out and show you how they do it. And these are PhD scientists. These aren't a bunch of recreational guys like me. And I think if you saw that, I think you would see that we can give you very, very high levels of science, much more accurate than what you've got. Your office said that there were no snapper caught off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I'm here to tell you that's not true, because I know people who've caught red snapper off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I'm not picking on anybody, but when your data obviously is that skewed, I think it tells you that you need to look more closely at how you're doing it. You're still pretty new on the job, and I'm not trying to expect you to have your hands on everything, but we'd like to show you how we're doing it. I think you would be very impressed with the level of science that we have. So we'll get somebody from my office to contact your office, give you some specific dates. I'd love for you to come down and see what we're doing down there, because I think you'll see this is the right way to do it, and we'll get better data. If you want to respond to that.
I would appreciate that offer and look forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Boggs, you have a great business. It's a family business, and a great family, by the way. As we make policy here in Congress, we have to keep in mind the health of your business, because you're representative of a large number of businesses in the charter industry that's important across the fishery in the Gulf Coast. And I just wanted to personally make sure that I said that to you, because I don't want you to think that we're up here just talking about recreational sectors and not thinking about you as well, because we are.
I appreciate that comment. Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Blankenship, after the data you just gave us regarding the actual catch, and I think we also had similar data from Louisiana, it seems to me that we've got quite a discrepancy compared to estimates about how much we were going to be catching actually this season, given the elongated season. What do these estimates show about how we can balance a healthy fishery with an extended amount of days for private anglers to fish?
Thank you, Congressman, and thank you for your continued interest on this issue. We think that we thought that this year with the extended season that it would spread out the effort, and so if there wasn't a derby where we had 3 days or 7 days that people feel like they just have to go, that people would fish, would spread out their trips, and that the catch would be less than it has been, much less than was estimated by NOAA Fisheries with this and some of the other groups with this extended season. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw that when people had more opportunity to fish, they picked days that was best for them and their families with the weather, and then our catch is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 350,000 pounds less than what would have been our 31 or 32% of the catch in the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, I appreciate that. Mr. Chairman, I got to go fishing for snapper this summer for the first time in 3 years. Last time I went was with Susan and her husband. And let me tell you something. You go out there in the Gulf of Mexico right now, you put your hook in the water, you're going to catch a snapper. There's absolutely no question about it. We'd love for you to come and to show you exactly what we're doing, because the truth of the matter is plenty of fish out there for everybody. For commercial, for charter, for recreational. We just got to get our science right, and I think the bills that are being considered by this committee will get us there, and I appreciate the professionalism of everybody on the panel, and I yield back.